Tyler. I'll be your host while we're here at Mission Control. I want to welcome you guys to a very special Mission Control room. This is NASA's Orion Mission Control, what they're setting up to be used in future missions with Orion. That name I mentioned is the name of NASA's mission to take astronauts into deep space. That means going past the moon to new places in the solar system to explore and find out some more origins about how the solar system formed, possibly search for life on Mars. All sorts of exciting stuff is looming in the future with Orion, and this is the room that they're getting set up for all of those missions. This is where they're going to control all of that. This room does have a little history behind it as well. If you look up here on the left, you'll see all of the mission plaques for every successful mission they controlled from here in the past. These are all space shuttle flights between 1995 and 2011. So that means they built the entire space station with those space shuttle flights out of this room right here. And that's what NASA's focusing on right now. For the most part, the space station is the focal point of what they're doing while they're getting ready to go to Mars. The space station control room is in this building too. It's one room over. If you look here on the monitor, you'll see what it looks like. You'll see all of the desks that they're sitting at. It's not so busy today because they actually have the weekends off, the astronauts do, and they don't need to do so much down here at Mission Control whenever the astronauts are just up there hanging out. They have to do the basic things, not so busy right now. But the space station research is actually related to all of this talk of going to Mars because they have to figure out how to keep the astronauts healthy and safe on their flights. Not only do they have to come up with the technology, but you have to deal with the human aspect. One of the major things we know from astronauts that are on the space station is that your body starts to change really quick. When you're in zero gravity or the microgravity, your body starts to react almost as soon as you get up there. Your muscles get weak because you're not using them. You don't weigh anything. You don't use even half as much as your effort to move around. So your muscles get weak, your bone density decreases, and some astronauts experience eyesight loss. Whenever they come back, they need glasses. So some things like that are what NASA's looking into now with the astronauts up on the space station so they can figure out how to safely send astronauts to Mars. And the reason they need to know about these long-term flights is because Mars is a pretty long haul. It's about 35 million miles away from Earth at its closest. If we catch it at that window, it'll still take 6 to 8 months to fly there. It's going to be another 6 to 8 months on the way back, possibly staying on the planet for anywhere from 30 days to 2 years. So that's a pretty long ordeal, and they want to make sure the astronauts are healthy, alert, and in top shape whenever they're that far away from Earth. Because if they're on Mars and they say, Houston, we have a problem, we won't hear that for about 20 minutes. It takes their signal 20 minutes to get from Mars to Earth, and it'll be another 20 minutes for them to hear our response of what's your problem. So communication is going to be pretty slow. That's why they want to make sure everything is ready to go for a mission to Mars. So that puts the time frame at about 2035. That's what they're saying is a reasonable date to start getting in the vicinity of Mars. And by the 2040s, thinking for sure, we'll have boots on Mars and start exploring, having missions to take astronauts there, bring them back to Earth. So like I said, guys, this is the Mission Control where that's going to be happening, and it's a special opportunity for you guys to see it because this is not going to be open to the public forever. So it's my pleasure to be able to just share a little bit about that with you guys. And if you guys have any questions, I'll be standing up top. Feel free to come up and ask. And at this time, you're going to head down to your next stop. Please take your same rows on the tram, and before you leave here, please make sure you just check the floor and the seats to make sure you don't leave any of your things behind. I really appreciate you all coming up to Mission Control to check out the new room. I hope you enjoy the rest of your tour today. Thank you very much. See you later.
Thank you.
Hey,